הדלקת יותר משיעור קבצה. Before, a half hour before the adlaka, before we're going to light, there's certain things you can't do. One of them is eating bread more than 54 grams. Eating bread 54 grams, you shouldn't be eating. Why? Because there's a chashash, we're worried that someone's going to get into his meal, add more, bread, salad, stuff like that. He's going to forget about lighting the candles. Yes, yeah. Before, half hour before we light the candles, we don't make a suda, a meal before. Why? It could be that we're going to forget to light the candles at the right time. So same too. There's difference in mizonot. Mizonot, in order for that to be kviyah, b'shiur suda, we have to have, in order to have a suda, consider they have a meal with eating sweet things like cookies and let's see what other like cigar, like the different type, and couscous and stuff like that. You have to have 216 grams. So like you can't have a 216 grams of cookies in that half hour also. Now, of course, someone shouldn't go to sleep also in this half hour. And melacha. Regarding work in this half hour, it says half hour before the lighting the candles, you should not be starting to do work. We're worried that someone's going to forget to light the candles. Now, if someone started, or he forgot, he's already started, he's in the work already, half hour before, he should stop, light candles on time, then go back to it after. If someone, let's say we said a half hour before the lighting, you cannot start work. But let's say you started 40 minutes before, 50 minutes before, when it was still permitted, and it's getting a lot. Min adin enot chayav la'afsik, ach tov sheyafsik le'adlik lechatchila bazman. But we're saying the best thing to do is stop, even though you started when you were permitted to work. Stop, light the candles, do it the right thing, do it the right way, and continue on. Regarding sleep, though, we said you cannot sleep. You have to have, of course, if someone has a shomer, someone that has someone watching him over, like someone that he knows he's going to call 5 people, and when it comes to the time of lighting the candles, he's going to call them to wake them up, take them out of the meal to light candles, and take them out of work. If you have someone watching you, someone watching over you, you will call him, and you know for a fact he's going to call you when you're sleeping. He's going to wake you up. You're allowed to go to sleep in this half hour, no problem. Now I want to jump on a couple of things we have to try to accomplish. So when you set up the candles of the Hanukkah, you set up from right to left. You put each night you put a new candle this way, right to left, and when you light, left to right. You always start from the first candle. Now when you light the first candle, you say, for the number one, you start the first time, we say 3 brachot. We say the bracha, להדליק נר חנוכה, not של חנוכה, נר חנוכה, ספרדים say נר חנוכה. Then we say, the second bracha is, שעשה ניסים לאבותינו, that we have praise to God, thank you for doing with our fathers this miracle. By the way, a ger, a convert also says this. And the last thing is the gimel, the third bracha that we say is shechianu, because it's a great moment. Now when someone lights then you start lighting the new candle. And the second you start lighting, rov tila, you lit the first candle already, it's lit completely, you start saying hanerot halalu. Hanerot halalu kodeshem. And then you move on. Then the people have the minhag to say, ma'uz tzu, donuts, sit with your kids. Now, regarding what am I supposed to do in that half hour? There's a minhag that women do not work in that half hour. There's a minhag that the women do not work in that half hour. Work is kvisa and tfira. Kvisa and tfira, that's considered work for the woman, which that basically means sewing and laundry. But now, What should we do in this half hour? There's people that have the minhag to stand and watch the candles like a screen. You know, it has a lot of different. They tell you the story, a lot of very insights regarding to that. But what's very, very important is not to ignore the family around you, not to light in time when it's comfortable for you and to forget about the family. This is a holiday of the family. When you light, make sure as much people of your family are around you. They got to sing together. It's told about Rabbi Yosef used to go every single night of Hanukkah from here to there to here, all over the place. But when he used to come home 12, 1 o'clock, then he would light. And his family would wait for him. Why? Because they wanted us. Why he lit? It was his reason. If you know you're going to come, you don't know when you're going to come, you tell the wife to light. But over here, he wanted to light and wanted to do it with the family also. Why? Because it's very, very important. This thing also, it's known that these small actions could change the child later on in life. Because later on in life, when you get, like the Rambam says, that in the aim that one bad friend could ruin 20 years of good education, and so he says, it could be down the line a child it could be a child's going to fall through, and he's not going to go through in the ways of God. And it could be this light of Hanukkah, and then he sees it from the menorah somewhere that could change his life. These small, and he could have, if he has a healthy and good memory, his parents sitting around with his father, sitting around with his mother, brothers, lighting the Hanukkah candles, eating donuts, sitting together. The father telling over the story of Hanukkah, very, very important. Guys, learn the story of Hanukkah. Tell over to them. Tell them the great miracle that God did. That even though we're a minority, we destroyed the majority. We were strong. That's one of the ideas. Now, with this, I have 2 minutes that I want to continue with. We want to move to the halachot of Al Nisim we touched upon in the halacha yomit. The Al Nisim, break it into two. We'll say right now the first thing we said. That now, if someone Al Nisim, we say Al Nisim in all the tefillot, all the midah after modim. Al Nisim b'yimei matitya. Now, if someone forgot, if he didn't say God's name, he goes and says Modim anachnu lach and says Al Nisim. Continue the whole entire nusach. What happens if he said God's name? So in Rosh Chodesh, in truth, you just say Lamdeni chukecha and that's it, and you go back to Yalev Yavo. But then over here, we say no. We say that you have to continue off, finish off Tov Shimcha Chana Ele Odot, and then move right before you do 3 steps back. You say the Alanis. You say Modim before 3 steps back. You say Modim Manachnu Lach. You start off with this. We thank you and praise you, God. Alanisim Arapuka. Now, what happens? Now, if someone forgot this, if someone forgot Alanisim completely, does not do Amidah again. That's it. If you finish, you lost Alanisim. You don't do Amidah again.
Why does it say that right now?
No, you don't say Modim and start bounding. You say Modim. Modim means praise to God, thank you. Ala Nisim ve Ala Pukan. You're adding Modim to the Ala Nisim in order to make it sound like the flow of the bracha. And in the Siddur you have Modim. You finish Modim. You go to Ala Nisim. Ala Nisim. But let's say if I missed Ala Nisim, so I want to. It's imagine I say I want to drink water. I say Sha'akol Niya B'Dvaro. What about Baruch Atah? Have the connection. Or I go someone lends me money. I tell him, or someone does for me a favor, helps me out. What do I tell him? For the money. I go to him for the money. Thank you for the money. I have to Modim Anachnu Lach. Modim Anachnu Lach. Thank you for the money. I should go to for the help, for the support. You have to connect it with the thank you. Basically, that's what we say Modim. It's a good question. Now, if you say Shalom Wamav, you missed it. You say now. What happens if someone thought that it's like Yalev Yavo? If you miss Yalev Yavo, you have to go all the way from the beginning. Now he goes all the way from the beginning and starts saying Baruch Atah from the beginning. Hashem Sefetay Tiftach. When he gets to Ala Tzadikim, let's say that's Ala Tzadikim, he realizes, he remember learning the halacha. And the halacha is that you're not supposed to go back. If you lost it, you lost it. That's it. So what is he supposed to do? Should he finish off the the Tfilat Shmona Esrei, the Amidah, or stop right there. So if it was Shachrit and Mincha, we say stop right there. Right there, stop. Even in the middle of the bracha, that's it. Stop it. Bracha levatala. We don't stop in the middle of Amidah, that's it. If it's Arvit, have in mind, this is going to be Nedava. When you get to Shema Kolenu, add a prayer from the bottom of your heart. You know, so something, add a prayer in Shema Kolenu, a private prayer for yourself, and that's considered a Chidush, and you're good. So, B'ezrat Hashem, Hanukkah Sameach, Esh!